Merry Christmas. Well, at least it's meant to be. I'm sure, like a lot of other people, you've gone to your Christmas tree lights and they don't work. It's for a couple of reasons. Probably you were just all a bit excited about putting them away, taking them away last year when they were a bit hot, and throwing them in the box, and it probably broke a filament. Okay, well, I'm going to give you an idea of how to actually repair Christmas tree lights and the outline of 2 or 3 different types of fairy lights that there are. This is a little summary of how many different types of Christmas tree lights there are, and break them down into 3 types because there's actually thousands and thousands of different types out there, but they all boil down to about 3 different sorts. You've got the main sets where electricity throws through every single lamp and then back to the supply. If one of those lamps is gone, then everything's gone. These are the more old-fashioned types of sets, but there's still quite a lot out there these days. Then you've got the low voltage sets, which they come with a transformer, call them a wall wart, and basically all this does is step the mains voltage down to a lower voltage for safety. That means they can be used indoors and outdoors, and if they're outdoors they're safe because of the wet, and if they're indoors they're safe because your animals and your children, if they break the wire, they're not dangerous. No chance of electric shock. These are fundamentally working exactly the same way as a main string though. The electricity flows down, it goes through a number of lamps and then goes back to the supply. Again, if one of these lamps goes, what normally happens is not all the set goes out, but just a section of the set, but fundamentally it's the same principle. Third type is LED and moulded type lamps. Okay, these can't be replaced, very tricky to fix unless you actually want to get into resoldering wires, by which time you should have enjoyed your Christmas dinner and it's too late. But these, because you can't replace the lamp, they're moulded. The LED ones are great anyway because they effectively, you shouldn't have to replace the lamps ever, and they shouldn't break in theory. But actually LED stuff doesn't last as long as people like to make out that it does, so these can break as well, but there's a bit more of a throwaway thing if it does break. What I'm hoping to show you here is how to repair a set of lights and the actual basic principles of the theory. This being a standard mains set of lights that I mentioned that the electricity runs down the cable through each lamp, and if one lamp goes out, the whole light go out. So here we are with our little set of lights. Okay, as I explained, if you take a lamp out, they all go out. And the way to actually start thinking about fixing these is, have you got the right lamps to actually replace? If you don't know that you've got the right lamps, as in you haven't got the ones that actually came with the light fittings with the set when you bought them, then just give up, okay? Because you're going to struggle to get hold of the lamps, okay? If you bought them from a good local sort of supplier, then you'll probably find that they might have the replacement lamps, and go back and see. If you bought them from the supermarkets, you've probably got no hope. Don't try and fudge a lamp in that's not the right one, because there are so many different voltages that actually getting hold of the right set and lamp is nearly impossible. Nearly impossible. I'm not saying it's impossible. Let's go with the actual principles of fixing these lamps. Now, it's the same principle whether this be a mains set or a low voltage set. So the difference between the main set is that all of these lamps go out when you remove one, versus a low voltage set, when you remove one, only a section would go out. Okay, so if you've got a section out on the low voltage ones, just consider that each section is the start or the beginning of a string. So this is a main set, so we're going to go. We're actually working from the end, but you can just as well work from the start. Don't work from the middle or 2 lamps in. It's going to really confuse you. Okay, what we do is, from our little packet of lamps that we know is good. Okay, very important. This, you take one of the lamps. Don't use a lamp that you don't know where it's come from. Okay, it will cause yourself so much confusion. Throw them out. In fact, just get rid of them. If you don't know that it's exactly the right lamp for the set, do not bother trying this. Okay, easy. So we take our one good lamp, in this case it happens to be a green one. We take out the lamp on the end of the string, okay, and I put that in my other hand. I then move that light and exchange it with the good one from the packet. Alright, we go, well, that's not replaced it. Well, No, it hasn't. But what we're going to do now is we're going to start moving this light up the string. So I'm going to take the next one out and swap that one out. Okay. Now, I've already replaced the lamp in here with one that I know wasn't working. So in this case I'd know, but this kit looks like may well have been further up the string. So what we do, again we take out this lamp here, and the one that we've been moving up, so the one that was there, will now be in the next string up. And all being well, he says, oh look, the set starts to work. Okay, now, I nearly just did it myself then. I nearly just put that light bulb, which was Duff, back down with the good ones. What you do is you throw that one out straight away, gone, okay? Because if you get that one muddled up, subsequent years, you're never going to be able to get the light sorted, because you're actually just going to be replacing potentially dud light bulbs with more dud light bulbs, okay? I hope that was simple enough to explain. You're just taking the lamp from the end and you're replacing that with a good one, and then you're going to move it up the string. And as you go on, probability says you'll find the actual blown lamp. I'm afraid this doesn't work with two lamps. There's no real easy way of sorting that out. In fact, I'd give up. Don't try and find the fault if you've got more than two lamps, because you're just going to be wasting so much time. These lights cost about £7.99, I think. Although they're nice and pretty, that would be the only reason that I would keep them, because simply it's easier to go out and buy another set. I understand that sounds a bit wasteful. If you did want to try and find the fault, you think you've got two lamps blown, then the best way I could suggest is to take every single light out of the string and try and find a battery that's the same roughly voltage as the lamp. So I actually know in this case these are 4-volt lamps. So if I found something like a 3-volt battery or 2 AAs, you could test each and every single lamp until you found the Duff one, then replace them all back in the string, and you would pretty well know that you've replaced the actual the Duff lamp, because you in theory have a lamp holder left with no lamp holder in, and then you put the actual replacement lamp in there, and that would turn it back on. Same principle for low voltage or mains lights. May sound very common sense, but I hope it's been helpful. I've fixed an awful lot of lights this way. Cheers.